My first impression when I arrived here with Chris of St Michael's Hospice is that it's a really caring, nurturing place to be. It became our second home. Chris, how can I describe him? He was my soulmate, he was my world, he was my leveller, my confidant. He was the person that I went to for everything, and he was just the person that everybody wanted to be with. Unfortunately, Chris was diagnosed with multiple myeloma back in June 2020, and then at the end of January, a decision was made that there wasn't anything else that really could be done. At that point, that is when we kind of met the hospice. As soon as we came in here, I felt that we were safe and Chris was safe. You know, I was no longer needing to look after him because he was in really good hands.
So we're quite a small hospice here in North Hampshire, and because we are quite small, it means that we have got the resource to be able to look after patients, and lots of people talk about how safe they feel when they come here. So I met Chris at home when he had just been discharged from hospital, and we spent some time talking about the kind of care he would and wouldn't want to receive and the sort of symptoms that he was struggling with. We do try and make sure that we look after every patient as an individual. We look at what matters most to them and we try and prioritise that. So we've had weddings here at hospice before. We sometimes have unusual pets coming to visit. So we do try and personalise care as much as we can.
Matthew was, in life he was a financial advisor, and then he became a worship leader at our local church. But yeah, he was a really good, really fun guy, really good dad, and he got ill when he was 36 and died when he was 40. Our first interaction with the hospice was our neuro-oncologist, because Matthew had a brain tumour, and so it would be better if we were cared for by a palliative team. And I think when you first hear that, you think it's game over, that there's nothing more. But actually, that's not the case at all. So they explained to us what the hospice would be like for Matthew at the end, whether he chose to die here or at home. But they also told us way more than we expected to hear, which was about how from that point they would support us on our journey.
It is lovely to be able to work here, and it is a privilege to develop relationships with patients and their families, and those are sometimes relationships that continue for a very long time as people either are looked after by our services for a long time or people who come back and visit us years later.
But I also find it really quite cathartic for myself to come back in here because it's such a lovely place, and I never dread coming in here.
What I love about palliative care is about celebrating life. It's so nice to be able to prioritise the patient and what they need and looking at them as a person and not just an illness.
What was really nice was that Ben could come and go and come in and see Chris, give him a kiss, whatever he wanted to do.
And in fact, actually, they were given a little worry doll to take home with them to help them to deal with the process of being afraid of losing their dad. And I think that's what the palliative care journey is. It's making life easier, pain-free, yes, but also a bit more stress-free. He said, "This is the best place I could be. I'm so happy that this was available to me at my time of need. If it wasn't here, I don't know how those end days would have been. I know that they would have been bleaker, for sure." So, I mean, I now am always fundraising for the hospice because I just know we need to keep this going.